Hey guys, it's Shadow the Rat, and for today's training video, I will be training with a little donut here. And I have a few things on our agenda for today. First of all, I want to teach her how to do 4 little weaves. So I have a set of 8 weaves here, well, actually just 5 in this pile, but 8 of these cones total, and I'm going to be teaching her to weave 4 of them. And this is just to get her started for agility. Later on I will use the weaving a lot more, but for now it's just something that I want her to kind of get a head start with. Start learning how to weave, especially because weaves are very much a muscle memory task. So if you want your animal to be doing them well and very quickly and accurately, it's less of a conscious thing that they're thinking, okay, in and out and in and out. And it's more like riding a bicycle. It's something that they have practiced so much that they just automatically do it as soon as they find the next weave. So here you can see that all I'm going to do is lure her through them. There is a few different ways to teach weaves. And I just prefer using luring because, well, I use it a lot with my rats, and on top of that, I'm not really asking them to do anything crazy with the weaves. I do want them to be accurately weaving, but I'm not too concerned about like distractions and things like that, so I find that the luring method usually works just fine with them. Anyways, the main thing when you teach weaves is that, first of all, you want to fade out the lure as quickly as possible, and you also want to reward in various places. So you'll notice the first time I let her through, I rewarded after each cone, and now I'm starting to reward after several cones. So I am going to continue to do that, just kind of reward her in different places. I always reward at the end, but for the beginning, sometimes I reward, sometimes I don't, sometimes I reward in the middle. And then you're going to see that I use my hand less and less, so I'm just going to kind of flick her through, and instead of actually luring her directly. So that way, she kind of learns that, you know, she has to go between the weaves instead of just follow my hand. And that's the thing with any lure. Whenever you're teaching something using a lure, you want to fade out the lure as quickly as possible. I think a lot of people have a problem with luring because they just don't fade out the lure very quickly, and when you don't fade out the lure very quickly, they can kind of get stuck following the lure. So then it's really hard to get them to do the behavior without the lure, which is of course not ideal. So right now I am just luring her to the edge and then having her weave through. She actually got this really quickly, so I'm not too worried about rewarding in between, since I did that some in the beginning and she isn't trying to pop out. In the end, you do want this to be one smooth behavior. You don't want them popping out before the end, but you don't want to be rewarding before the end either. But at first, it is okay to reward between, and actually I encourage that. But as you can see here, she's doing a great job on the weaves. She picked it up really quickly, and I don't really want to do anything else with it. Honestly, I just wanted to get the basis down, and I didn't think she would pick it up so quickly. So the fact that she did just means that we have more time to work on other things. So that was a really great start to weaving, and I will later be using it in agility courses. But with weaves, I like to give them a day or two after I first train it in order to really internalize the idea and also to just kind of develop that muscle memory. So I'll have them practice it a few days in a week, but usually I'll leave a day or two in between after first learning it so that they can start to really internalize the kind of motion of it. Okay, so here I have a bowling alley, and the next thing I want to work on today is teaching her how to bowl. So this here is a desktop bowling alley, and I just have a marble that I'm going to teach her to push. I actually want my clicker for this one because it's a little bit more complex. Okay, it's not more complex, but it's a little harder for me to mark the right thing because I just want her to know that I want her to put her nose in that little thing. Oops. It's hard because they're sticking to my hands because I have yogurt on them. But I'm just putting some treats down in this little treat holder. And the next step is I have some bowling pins here, and I have a marble ball. And I'm not going to put the pins out yet because, well, there's really no point to do it yet because, you know, she's not actually bowling. But the next step is you want to take some treats, put them down, and then you want to put one beneath the ball. And when they try to push it out with their nose, let go so the ball rolls down. If they try to use their arms to push it out, or they try to push it a different direction, then you don't want to let go. You just want to let go if they push it in the right way. And of course, if they're having difficulty with this, you'll need to make it easier. But if they're doing like Donut is, you can kind of move on. So ideally, they won't be able to get to it unless they push it like that. And now that she's kind of pushing it like that, I'm just going to remove the treat from underneath it. I'm going to be handing her a treat separately. I'm actually going to use yogurt now because I don't need a dry treat. And now I'm going to see if she can do it without my hand there. So she's figuring it out very quickly. That's just the nice thing about these girls. They're doing a really good job about figuring stuff out really quickly. So this is basically the basis for the sort of bowling. Okay, well, again, as I've said in prior sessions, these girls are extremely fast at picking things up. They're just very confident, very food motivated. So if your rats don't pick it up quite as fast, that's completely fine, and they will definitely pick it up. You can see she messed up there, but she did try the right behavior. So since we're still early on, I'm going to reward that. I'm not going to reward that one though, because I don't like the direction she was pushing it. There we go. And sometimes you do need to reward in front of them, especially with something like this where it's not really enclosed. I have one where the sides for the bowl, the part where the little ball goes, are a little higher, and I'm probably going to use that more with them later, but she has the idea down with this. So I'll try putting up the bowling pins once, just kind of for the fun of it, and I'm going to distract her with the Cheerio while we wait, because putting up bowling pins is not that easy. Actually, I'm going to remove the ball because I don't want her to push it down before I'm ready. Here, I'm going to give her another treat. And let's see, I have a few more bowling pins to put on here. The bowling pins are always the most annoying part to put up because, well, you just know that one of them is going to fall over. I mean, you can just see that bowling pin right there. It's thinking about falling over. These actually didn't come with the set itself. These are a set I got with some party favors. You want to do a Spency? She's back? Good girl. But anyways, these plastic ones are a set I got for some party favors. Or actually my brother got, but I have a few of them that we never had to give away because, well, we got some extras. And, well, they are easier for the rat to push over, but at the same time, they're also harder to put up because they're less stable. And this set here came with a set of wooden bowling pins that are more stable, but they're also harder to push over. Oops, so she kind of messed up there, but that's okay. Oh, yay, good job. She has the idea down, but like I said, it's very difficult with this because if you don't push it in the right area, then oh nice, she finally got them all down. But if you don't push it in the right area, then it will just go right off this thing. She wants it so bad. Little crazy thing. Good job. I got it on your back. You moved too quickly. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the bowling set. Let's put that up. Oh my god, we already got 2 tricks down. Should I attempt a third? That's the problem when I'm working with them. It's like, they're learning so fast, and I don't want to stop, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to push them too far by accident. Anyways, I think the last thing we'll work on is just some backup. Good job. And it's actually been, I think, a day or 2 since I worked this with her. She's only had maybe 2 sessions total with backup, but that's the nice thing about backup. It's kind of like weaves. You leave it for a day or 2 if you end on a good note, and they will do amazingly better the next time you practice it. As long as you don't wait too long, you know, if you're like waiting a few weeks, well, then you can expect them to forget it. But as long as you don't wait too long, you know, they're going to do an amazing job. And you can see she is doing an amazing job. Keep going. Good job. And again, as a bit of a refresher here, the backup goal is to back up under my 2 fingers. And when you start out, you just put your fingers here, and when they instinctively back up, you give them the treat. You often have to start a little bit closer. In my first video in this series, I actually show them learning backup for the first time. So if you are interested in teaching it to your rats, feel free to check that out. I will have all of this linked in the description. So I think we are honestly pretty much done. Just because I don't want to overdo it, and she just learned those other 2 tricks extremely quickly. I was not expecting her to learn them that fast, but you know, that's just the nice thing about working with rats. They tend to surprise you. Okay, so she did a really good job there. Let's go ahead and ask for a spin because that is always a cute trick, and then have her jump onto my hand and we'll be done. Good job. Come here. Good job. Okay, so I will see you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye. Look how cute she is. She's such a cute baby. Look at her.